guys, welcome back. So it's pretty early in the morning and man, I don't know what's going on in my eye, but today's video, guys, we're gonna be doing some work to the homie Tony's K-swapped Integra DC. Alrighty guys, so after struggling with my fat ass and my brother pushing the car up into the garage, we got the car fully into the garage now, and it's a place where it's going to be at for about a week and a half, give or take. I'm going to try to do it within a week and a half because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. But again, I'm not going to beat myself to death. It may take 2 weeks, it may take me 3 weeks. But again, the goal is to be able to get it done within a week and a half to 2 weeks, the full process of getting everything that I am going to be doing to this car. So right now in this video, I'm not going to be doing work to it. I wanted to introduce you guys into the car, what we're going to be working on here in the garage. Right now, a lot of people are probably going to say, why am I not working on the all-wheel drive EK? And the main reason is because I'm still waiting for the engine. Waiting for the engine to come back still. I'm waiting for all that to get assembled, get finished up. We ordered the parts already, so that should be coming here soon. So this gives me time to at least get this car inside before working on the other car and still be able to get things done. So that way we can maintain the channel and keep things going. So all-wheel drive will get some work done to it. I'm actually waiting to see about the whole transmission work too, because I need another transmission. I need to fix this transmission. So it's kind of just a whole cluster, man, that everything's just running around with right now. So I figured take this job in, do some work, and help the homie out and at least get him farther ahead. Because honestly, guys, this car has sat in his garage for about 3.5 years, if I'm not mistaken. It sat in his garage maybe about another year so far from him throwing the motor back in because they painted the engine bay. So there's a lot of things that need to get done to this car. Number one being it needs a brake line setup. So it needs a brake line setup, and we are going to be tucking it inside of the chassis itself or inside of the cab itself. So I still got to pull a lot of that stuff out carefully because it is a Type R. I need to pull it out carefully, make sure nothing gets broken, tuck the proportioning valve out of the way, make sure that it all clears everything. There is no AC in this car, there is none of that stuff, so because of the K-swap. So I'm not worried about all that. It's just basically placing that proportioning valve in the correct location. And then right now I'm waiting for him to show up so that way we can actually figure out where all the brake lines are going to go to the wall section where he wants them at, and put a tape area there and make sure we can lock it in. Aside from the brake line tuck and everything else that I need to do, I already have all that parts. So we are going to be using 3/16 brake lines. I like using this brand here because it's just a very solid brand, and I've had no issues with this brand here. So that's the brake lines we're going to be using. I'll straighten that all up with my tube straightener, and then I already have the fittings for that also. I also had him order a fuel line kit where we're going to have to modify still to be able to get onto the bottom of the chassis. So that still has to, the main line has to get cut and it has to get spliced into, so that we can put the lines to where they need to be. Again, this car is going to need a lot of work. As you can see, everything is loose on this car. You got the map, you got everything else that's just everywhere. So everything's going to have to be figured out, bolted down, so we can see where everything's going to go and get an accurate measurement on the fuel lines. So once fuel lines are done, then we're going to be moving to the whole charge setup. So for what I'm thinking about the charge pipe setup is that we're going to be running from here, same way I did this way, run down, run on bottom of the frame, and run around this section here, and then bolt it up to an intercooler, which we don't have yet. We still got to get one of those. The other one will probably be coming into here if I can squeeze it in here and do it that way. If not, then we'll go ahead and do it like this and match it down here, and that way it'll go underneath the frame. So something I'm going to be talking with him a little bit about to show him my thoughts and get his thoughts on how he wants, because again, we still need an intercooler and stuff like that. So that's something that's going to be ordered. We are probably going to be going with the same intercooler that I used on mine, which is that one up there. So we'll use the same setup, put it in the middle of the grill, make sure everything is aligned, and we can lock it in place. That way we have no issues on it whatsoever, and making sure it all looks symmetrical inside of the grill. Aside from that, we have to do the whole exhaust setup. So being a Sidewinder, it's going to have to come from this section this way. As you can see, space is kind of tight, so we're going to kind of make it as high as possible and then dump down on the bottom along with the wastegate also. So we're going to try to make it flow symmetrical. Thing is try to make everything look identical to each other, so that way it flows good inside the engine bay. So that's just something that needs to get done to it, but hopefully we can get all that done here. Right now I'm going to wait for him to pull up. He'll be pulling up within maybe another 45 minutes or so, and once he pulls up, then we'll go ahead and chop it up, and I'll give you guys an accurate, a little bit more accurate information on what all's all going to get done to this car, how he wants things, and give you guys a good explanation. And hopefully you guys are stoked for this to come, because we are going to be working on this for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, and hopefully get you guys some good content and show you guys everything that I'm going to be doing, full exhaust work to it and everything else. So again, guys, yeah, we'll catch you guys in a little bit. Alrighty guys, so the homie just ended up leaving, and I didn't put him in camera or anything like that because he really doesn't like being on camera, but me and him spoke for about an hour and a half, basically going over everything that kind of I'm suggesting, and kind of got his point of view of what he was looking for. And what he really wants is just something to look appealing, that's fully functional, and that honestly just doesn't really throw off the eye. So I kind of gave him the idea of what I had, and we came to an agreement of what's going to happen. So the way things we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing this in sequence, in the steps, and then from there we'll be moving to the inside. So the first priority for me is to actually wash this car. So I'll wash that car, get it ready, push it back in, and that way we can start all the work that we need to. What we're going to have to do is we're going to be starting off with brake lines and fuel lines. So the bottom of the car, I got to get underneath, I got to be able to jack it up and cut the lines and add the adapters. So I do have the adapters already. All that is here, so I'm not stressing about that. So I got all those fittings. I just got to find them, in all honesty. So this right here is a fitting that I have. We have some other fittings that are crush washer types, and what that does is that it crushes onto the hard line, and it converts the hard line on into a AN fitting. So we are going to be running -6 AN lines all the way from feed and return. I've had zero issues with mine. He's not aiming for a high horsepower. I think he's aiming for like 450, 500 horsepower, and I've already made 630 on my setup with the same lines. And if you guys don't know, you guys can head to Amazon and grab this kit right here. This kit is really cheap and does what it needs to do. Very, very cheap, affordable. This box will just cooperate. This is the brand right here, and this right here is like 20 feet, and I think it was like $59 if I'm not mistaken. You can buy other kits out there, don't get me wrong, but and pay more just because of the name. But this, I've had zero issues with my car. Dana runs on his car. Brandon, we have shit up, runs it on his cars that he builds, and we've had zero issues on it. And proof is in the pudding. We've made a good amount of numbers and power on my car. So Dana's made good power on his. It just really matters on injection, fuel injectors that you're running, and also type of turbo, how much boost you can really put into it. T3, T4, wastegate, so on and so forth. It does play in a part, but at the end of the day, it's very affordable to use those lines, and they work for what they need to work for. Aside from that, I think I've already stated it. I got the fittings for the fuel lines. They actually arrived today. So this is a crush fitting that turns it into, I think these are 5/16, if I'm not mistaken, fuel lines. So this will convert it over. It just basically cut the line, slide the fitting over, slide the copper ring over that, and then crush it, tighten it. And what that does is it locks onto the hard line, and it converts it over to a -6. So it's very simple to do that. You don't have to go all the way to the back with AN line, and we're not going to do that. On my car, I did it because I went with the fuel cell. So on this car, we're not going to do that. I've done it on my brother's car. Zero issues with fuel also. So game plan for this car is, since it's here, I'm going to assess everything really down to what it really needs. We're going to wash the car, make sure the car is clean, because I don't want to scratch it with all the dust that's on it. It's sat in the garage for 3 years, and I don't want to cause any more damage to it. So another thing that I got to order is an intercooler, and we are going to be running the same intercooler that I'm currently running on my car right now, which made 630 horsepower, and this is off Amazon. It's like $110, $120 for this intercooler, and it's proven to make 630 horsepower so far. We are going to test it still, because I'm aiming for more power on my car, but my homie is not aiming for that much power. He's aiming for like 450, 500 horsepower. This is a street car, and he's not trying to beat the shit out of it. So we are going to be running this setup on his car, and that way we can make progress. So sequence of order is going to be brake lines, fuel lines all in one video. From there we'll do charge pipes in one video, and then from there we'll move to the exhaust side and fabricate all that and get all that situated. The added bonus to this is that there's already an exhaust on the bottom of the car, so that kind of leads me to where everything needs to be put. We're going to cut the back half because it's kind of in the tunnel. We're going to cut the back section, and we're going to put a V-band on it, put another piece all the way to the top with a 90, and that will connect it to a V-band to the top part of the turbo. So everything will be kind of all in sequence. We're going to try to make some tabs so that way the exhaust doesn't drop downwards and we don't have any issues with that. But all that should be taken care of. I'll figure out my way of doing things. I'm still waiting for him to bring the wastegate, because that's another thing we got to do, the dump tube, and so all that has to get fabricated, guys. So I'm really stoked to be able to work on that, and I do appreciate the homies giving me the opportunity to be able to showcase my work and give me the opportunity to show them what I can do and just put my work out there, because this will lead to more customers and showing them that, hey, I can do this and I can pretty much do a lot of stuff. So I'm really stoked for that opportunity, and I do appreciate all the homies giving me that opportunity. But pretty much, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video and you guys look forward to content with this Type R K-swapped Integra, please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know your guys' thoughts about it. And yeah, with that being said, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Till next time.